So I got a lot of really fantastic feedback from all of you guys from my last coffee talk, which is talking about my diet and exercise. And I hadn't weighed myself and for like a really, probably 2 or 3 weeks leading up to when Blake left, and I finally just stepped on the scale again for the first time in a good like 3 or 4 weeks or so, and I have officially lost probably around 15 pounds, maybe a little bit less, and between 13 and 15 pounds, and so I am officially at the lowest weight I have been since probably about sophomore year in high school. I was just gonna make, you know, a meal for me this morning. It's a little bit past the time I would drink coffee, but I'll probably end up drinking coffee anyway. But I just wanted to show you guys what I would make for a meal for like breakfast. So I'll show you. Let me turn the light back on, even though it makes it really weird lighting in here. So for this, you're going to need some eggs. We have our own chickens, and so they're disgustingly dirty, but I will wash them off and use that. This is chocolate for truffles I made last night. Some mushrooms. You don't need these because I know a lot of people do not like mushrooms, but I adore mushrooms, so I'm going to use some mushrooms. Green onion, and this is cauliflower that I've already kind of grated. Also some soy sauce. Because basically what we're going to make is fried rice, except with fake fried rice. And then I'm going to add lots of other delicious things in here too. We have a skillet right here that's already heating up, and it's probably a little too warm right now because I'm going to cook the mushrooms first. And I'm just going to use butter for this. Ew, our butter dish is a little crazy right now. Right now I'm going to take some butter and I'm just going to fry up the mushrooms. And I'm using a good pat of butter. The really wonderful thing about this diet is that you're allowed to use butter. It's not the devil. I love the way that butter flavors everything. I just love the flavor of butter a lot more than I do extra virgin olive oil, that is. And so, in almost all of my cooking, I use butter because it has no carbs, and it's beautiful, and it tastes delicious, and it's not the devil. So, we have our mushrooms cooking in there. So while the mushrooms are browning, I'm actually just going to take a cheese grater, just any kind of grater. You can use a food processor if you want, if you don't want to do the work, which I totally don't blame you for. But I'm actually just going to grate the cauliflower. So, I probably grated about a cup, maybe a little bit more of cauliflower. Yeah, probably a cup and a half. And I'm just going to put this on a plate, and once the mushrooms are a little bit more brown, I'm just going to throw this in with them. Okay, so now that our mushrooms look like this and they are nice and brown, I added a little bit more butter in there too. I'm just going to take the cauliflower that we shredded and throw that right in there as well. Okay, so now that's all mixed in there, and I'm actually going to take, I was using this knife for the butter and the mushroom, I'm just going to mix that all in there. Okay, and now I'm just going to let this sit for probably about, I don't know, about 5 minutes or so. Not too long, but just enough to make it a little bit more moist. And while that is actually cooking, I'm actually going to take my eggs and I'm going to clean off 2 of them. We're going to use 2 eggs for this. Okay, so now that the cauliflower and mushroom mixture has been a little bit more mixed around and it's cooked for a little bit longer, you can see it's a little bit more brown. I'm actually going to take just a little bit of soy sauce, not too much because the carb count in soy sauce can be quite high if you go overboard. But I'm not the biggest soy sauce person anyway, so I'm probably just going to take a small drizzle of it. And I'm just going to literally just drizzle it over the cauliflower. So, as you can see the drizzles of soy sauce. And I'm just going to mix that around. Okay, so this is what our little mixture looks like once we have added the soy sauce. You can see it's much more brown now, and it gives it a nice little hint of flavor. So I'm going to take my 2 eggs next. I have my spatula. I'm going to do it 1 egg at a time, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crack it in here. Try not to get any shell, but knowing me, I probably happened. And so now we have the egg in there, as you can see. I'm going to let that cook for just a second. I think I'll probably crack the other one in there too. Switch it up though, I'll do it on the other side. Okay, I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. It was on a lower medium heat, but I'm actually going to heat it up a little bit because I'm working with eggs. And now I'm just going to mix everything together. So I'm going to break the yolk, if it hasn't broken already, and just kind of mix it all together. And now once all that is mixed in there, I'm actually going to cut up a little bit of that green onion. So I just cut up a little bit, small handful of green onion, and I'm just going to throw that in there. And then mix it up some more. So this is what we have come up with. It looks a little bit unusual in the bowl, but I swear it's like the greatest thing ever. And the best part about this recipe is the fact that you can pretty much add anything you want to it. It's really good with bacon and ham and any other kind of meat. It's good with turkey in it. It's good with spinach in it. There's so much you can do with this, but this morning I just decided to stick with mushrooms and a little bit of green onion. So that's pretty much all it is, and it keeps you full for so long. And let me see what the calorie count is. So this all together is 340 calories, which is not outrageous. It's a little bit more than I like to stick to in a meal, but together it only has the carb count for this total is 19, which is also a lot more than I like to stick to, but 5 of those are fiber, so it's more like 14. This is definitely a lot higher carb count than I typically tend to go with, but if you are just starting out, this is a really great transitioning meal, and it's delicious. It is so good. But just make sure if you are starting out on this diet that you just read the labels, you know. It says the carb count for everything in it, and I typically, if I am going to the store and I'm going to buy things, then I try to buy things that have less than 4 or 5 carbs per serving, whatever the serving is on that thing. So that is just a little tip if you are interested in this diet as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm going to eat my brunch, so I will talk to you all soon. Bye.